here's some thoughts for you that may help, as I say, improve your heart's condition, your mental condition, and your basic outlook on life. Time now is 7:30. You're listening to Springfield's News Talk AM 1590 WDBL. I'm Dick Veach, and joining me now is Trish Zulizik, who is a certified healing practitioner. Good morning, Trish.
Good morning, Dick.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
On this sort of cloudy day.
Yes.
Well, I've been reading your articles in the Robertson County Times, and I thought, boy, with the weather as it is and the time of year we're heading into, some positive thoughts and some positive attitudes are probably very apropos for where we are today.
Absolutely.
And so I thought, well, let's get you to talk a little bit about some of your thoughts and some of the things that in your practice that you, if you will, practice that you preach to your clients in helping them, their mental attitude, and I assume along with their mental attitude, improving their physical health.
Sure. Well, really, true healing comes from the heart, and physically, the heart is an amazingly powerful and tireless muscle. It's called the myocardium, and of course we know it's located in the center of the chest. It beats continually. It's really on call 24/7. So within the cells that make up the heart, a kind of vibrational imprinting occurs, and that's what the articles were about, was about vibrational frequencies. And these cells in the heart send waves of energy and sound to all of the other 75 trillion cells in the body. So besides its physical function, the heart is also a chalice of joy and sorrow. And this chalice needs protection, which the pericardium provides. Now, the pericardium is a sac that surrounds the heart and protects it. The heart is, in fact, the only organ in the body that cannot protect itself. So every other organ has its own defense system, but the heart is the unconditional lover of the body. Our hearts need to be carefully guarded. Did you know that the heart has its own chain of command?
I did not know that.
I didn't either until I started to do some research, and actually it's called the HeartMath Institute of California, and they have shown that the heart has a nervous system, if you can believe that, and that it makes decisions independent of the brain, such as how fast to beat. And moreover, the electrical wave produced by the beating heart has about 1,000 times the strength of a brain wave. That's incredible. So as a result, the heart tends to pull the brain and other organs into synchronization, or it's called entrainment, with its rhythm. So, Dick, if you think of a room full of pendulum clocks, all the clocks will synchronize their ticking with the clock with the biggest pendulum, right? So we may be run by our hearts far more than we realize.
Well, now, okay, that's the science of it. How can I get my heart to do some of these things to help improve itself?
Dick, did you happen to see the film What the Bleep Do We Know?
No, I did not.
Well, in the first article, I mentioned the pioneering work of a Japanese researcher named Dr. Emoto, and his work was referenced in the film. He's made some astonishing discoveries, and this is quite incredible, actually. His studies show that water that has been exposed to loving words show brilliant, complex, and colorful snowflake patterns. In contrast, negative words form incomplete, almost like blob-like or polluted-looking patterns with dull colors. And what's fascinating about this is that over half the Earth is water, and our body is 3/4 water. So is it possible to positively impact our planet and our personal health by choosing our words wisely?
That sounds like it might be, yes.
Well, his studies present compelling data, so I know that many of my friends in my healing circle, have taken to labeling their bottles of water with happy words like love, gratitude, joy, etc. It actually carries a vibration. Everything vibrates. This is called the law of harmonics. This is energy medicine.
Now, I assume this is not going to replace going to see your medical doctor, but it is a companion approach to medicine.
Absolutely. And in recent years, we have actually witnessed a radical shift in the acceptance of the body-mind-spirit connection in health and healing. So yes, of course, we go to doctors, but many people are realizing that there's more of a connection on the inner, and that we can do something about it. Really, what good is it if we relieve a pain, but our hearts remain empty and bitter? So by understanding the laws of life, it can help us heal and reduce the wear and tear on our cardiac system. So talking about vibrations, we talked about laughter about a month ago. Our speech is also like a laser beam that carries the essence of our vibrations. And these are fundamental laws of energy medicine. Everything vibrates. This is science. This is proven. So wherever we place our attention, we are placing the core of our health and our power. So if we focus on negatives, guess what? We're going to feel lousy,
Right.
and we're going to spread misery to others. So the secret to creating vibrant health is by inviting into our lives those things, people, and ideas that harmonize with us by choosing our reading material, television shows, music we listen to, conversations, our words carefully. We can help to strengthen our own hearts. And really, we are consciously is an important word, recreating our state of health by choosing the words that are positive and uplifting. So really, our health and happiness depend on our connection to the heart.
We're talking with Trish Zulizik, who is a certified healing practitioner, about words and strengthening your heart. Trish, I guess if I'm understanding correctly, we have to get from having lemons to making lemonade, or the glass is half full, not half empty, in our attitude towards people and towards the day and towards things in our lives.
Absolutely. An attitude of optimism, like you said, laughter, words of gratitude, they resonate healing frequencies in our heart. And it kind of reminded me when I heard you play, I like the songs you played, by the way, in your playlist.
Thank you.
But Cupid's arrow, when it says Cupid, he draws back the bow and the arrow goes straight to the heart. That actually can be a metaphor for the words we speak. The words that we speak can be the bow that are drawn back, and then the arrow is the frequency that we deliver into someone's heart by the words that we speak, if that makes sense.
Right, it does. It does. Now, if people want to make contact with you and have a greater conversation about this, where can they contact you?
Actually, I work out of Therapeutic Massage Specialist, which is on Tom Austin Highway, and the telephone number is 977-7099. And of course, we have bodywork services, and then also workshops on healing.
Now, also, if I want to learn more about these healing arts, is there a website that you're familiar with that people can go to and learn more about this?
Actually, there is. It's www.aninvitationtoheal.com.
Well, I want to thank you for this morning, for joining me this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Again, it's not a cloudy day. It's a day covered up with opportunities for us to unveil throughout the day. So
that's right. I'd like to mention one more thing, if I can, in closing. I read once that there are two parts to God's voice, or it's also called the Word. And our in-breath, which sustains us, it's the gift of life from the divine source. And then the second part of God's voice is our out-breath, which is the life we create with the words that we speak. So we can create our day, and we can definitely impact the lives of others by our thoughts and our speech.
So be careful with the words that you use.
That's right.
Because you're affecting not only yourself, but those around you. So
that's right.
I do thank you. Have a good morning and a good day.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The time now is 7:38. You're listening to Springfield's News Talk, AM 1590, WDBL. We've been talking with Trish Zulizik, who is a certified healing practitioner. And Trish, I apologize for butchering your name, but with a name like Veach, you have to understand that I have been a victim of butchery all of my life. So please excuse that, and I do thank you for joining me this morning.